Hi, I'm Erica, and I'm a reseller from Oregon. Thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel. Well, it's Monday morning, and I have, I think, 24 orders that I got over the weekend, and so I just thought I would do my shipping, and then I would tell you while I'm doing it what exactly was sold this weekend, and let you know how I did. The first thing I sold this weekend was some J. Crew Chino pants, men's Chino pants. They're the style 770, and I'll pick up J. Crew pants a lot because usually they have a style name or number, and if someone likes that fit of pants, then they'll be looking for it on eBay. These are actually men's pants, and I've done really well with men's chinos on eBay. So I got these for about $1.30, I think, yeah, at the bins, and they sold for $27. I sold a pair of Prana Cara jeans, and these are a fairly popular jean style for the brand Prana, and I've been selling Prana consistently over the last month or so, so I think people are really looking for this brand. They really like it, and it's a fairly quick flip. I have $1 into these jeans, and I sold them for $19.19. Next is some more sportswear. It's a Patagonia long zip-up sweatshirt jacket for women. I got this at the bins as well. I spent about $1.50 on it, and it sold for $32.25. I sold several pairs of summery kind of shoes this week, so that's interesting, over the weekend actually. I sold these Snook shoes. They're women's like beach shoes, little loafers that are really cute. They're very, very light, so I paid probably 75 cents for these, and they sold for $19.99. The next thing that sold was that Lucky Brand t-shirt that I did in my haul last time that had the embroidery all over it. I bought this at the bins for about 50 cents and sold it for $15.19, and that's probably between 15 and 20 is about an average for what I get for the Lucky Brand t-shirts. And that sold in a day, I think, or maybe two, but really quickly, so that was a great sale. I sold these Skechers Performance Flipflops. I don't pick up Skechers too often, but these I had sold once before. They're Goga mat, and so it's like a yoga mat sole on them, and I had less than $1 into them, and they sold for $20 in about a week. This next item that I sold is a Mark Zunino cardigan, and when I picked this up probably a year and a half ago, and I was so excited because I'd heard the name Mark Zunino. I wasn't sure where, but I knew he was a designer, and come to find out, I think I recalled his name from back in the day watching Say Yes to the Dress, because he does design wedding dresses, but I don't know that his clothing resells for very much. So I paid $3.99 for this cardigan, and I was excited thinking I was going to get a lot. When I looked up comps, they weren't that great, so I had it listed for $30. Someone sent me a $15 offer, and because it's been in my shop for over a year, I was very glad to take their $15 offer, and so that's what I sold this for. The next item I sold was this really neat little bank calendar with a turn knob that turns the numbers and the date on it. I picked this up at a garage sale about a month ago. I paid $3 for it, and I sold it for full price, full asking price at $28.99. I sold this Lands Originals vintage sundress that I got just last week at the bins. Vintage has been selling really well for me, even just vintage from like the 80s or 90s. It doesn't have to be, 100 years old. So it's doing really well. It didn't have a belt or anything, and it sold in less than a day. So that was a great thing to pick up. And then that men's Ibex t-shirt that was all full of holes, that I also got at the bins, sold in less than a day, I think, as well. I took a best offer for $10, which wasn't a ton of money, but it flipped very quickly, and I only had about 50 cents into it. Another thing that I really enjoy selling that may be a little unusual is yarn. If I can find multiple skeins of the same color. So this is some yarn that I picked up at my local St. Vincent de Paul, and it's part mohair, like 50% mohair. It's vintage and it's made by Sears. So I only paid about 50 cents a skein for these, and then I ended up selling it for $15.99. And I've sold yarn for quite a bit more than that as well. As long as it has some really good fiber content in it, like wool or mohair or something, I don't usually have any trouble selling it. I also sold an Elie Tahari silk cami. The brand Tahari I don't usually pick up, but Elie Tahari seems to sell decently for me. It's not normally something that sells quickly, but it can do pretty decent, can sell for pretty decent money. I sold a Zara olive green winter coat that was just really gorgeous. Zara is a brand that is kind of hit or miss. So some of the things will sell and some will just sit forever. But I usually just try to go with my gut and go on style. And this was a gorgeous coat. I actually paid up for it at a Goodwill store here in my area, and I paid $10 for it. But somebody found it and really loved it and wanted it. And so that was one of my great sales this week. And then from winter to summer, another pair of Snook sold. These are men's. These I found at the bins, but they looked brand new. Again, super light, so I paid under $1 for them. So I was happy to get those out the door. This next sale is a little bit of an unusual one for me. I sold these towel salad forks. It's Towle is the brand. And I found these at a little thrift shop in Central Oregon. There was sets of them, but I divided them up by forks and knives and spoons and put them up for sale, and they only cost 25 cents a piece, and this set of forks sold for $15.19. So I had heard someone talk about selling flatware, and they said anything that was made like in Europe or Japan was usually something that would be good to sell. And so I just happened to see that these were from Japan, and then I looked them up on replacements.com to see if they were worth anything, and I guess somebody really wanted them, so that's great. I sold some Dansko clogs. They're the Harlow design, and these were such cute clogs. I really love them, and got these at the bins, paid about $2, and these sold for $39.99, which was full asking price. I sold a J. Jill button-down shirt. If you can find anything from the J. Jill Love Linen line, that's what I really like to sell the most out of all of the J. Jill things. People really seem to look for that line, and they love the linen pieces. So this was just a basic shirt that I found at the bins. Bought it for about 50 cents, and it sold for $18.39, I believe. Yeah, $18.39. I sold a Victoria's Secret bra for $16. I picked this up for about 25 cents. I don't pick up every bra that I find at the bins. Some of them just don't resell very well, but Victoria's Secret, if it's in really great shape, or a lot of times the larger sizes of bras if they're in good shape too. And I don't make a ton, probably between $15 and $20 a piece, but when you can pick them up for 25 to 50 cents, it makes it worth it. I don't pick up a lot of purses. I think it's because I don't really enjoy selling them. I'm photographing them and all that, but they can do really well. So I do pick them up every once in a while if I find something that's a great deal. So I got this Lucky Brand crossbody lamb leather bag. Was just in really great shape. I paid a little over $1, and it sold for $22. I sold some Nike women's leggings that I got for 60 cents. They sold for $25. I sold another Lucky Brand item. It was a men's thermal shirt, which I paid $1 for and sold for 12. So these Lucky Brand does really well for me. They're not high dollar items, but they do make a lot of movement in my store, which I think helps the eBay algorithm, whatever that is, and I just feel like it generates more interest and more sales. So I definitely will keep picking up Lucky Brand. I sold some men's 7 for All Mankind jeans that I paid about $1.50 for, and I sold them for $28.99. 7 for All Mankind is a fairly expensive brand of jeans, but for me, they just do not resell very well. I know the dojo style sometimes will sell, and I've picked up a few of those, but they're not that great for me. The only time that I normally pick up 7 for All Mankind are the men's, which seem to do fine, and also if I find a plus size, those seem to do good as well. Next, I sold a pair of Prana Brenna moto pants. Prana, again, is a brand I love to sell, and then I also really like to sell pants that have a name to them. So the Brenna pants, I'm sure there are a lot of people that wear the Brenna pants, so that's exactly what they're looking for when they're searching on eBay. And let me see what I paid for these. Looks like I paid 75 cents for these, and they sold for $21.99. Another men's thermal shirt. This one is Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply. I'm not really sure why I picked up this brand. It's not one that normally sells very well for me. I only spent 75 cents and it sold for $11, but honestly, I probably wouldn't pick that up again just because that's a lot of work for a $10 sale. So I'm just glad it sold. Someone sent me an offer and I took them right up on it. And the last thing I sold on eBay this weekend was a great sale. It was a vintage red LL Bean work shirt, men's. And this shirt had a lot of things going for it. First of all, it was vintage LL Bean, which people just love that brand. It is very durable, and especially their older stuff, their classic styles, like their flannels and work shirts, things like that. Seemed to do really well, especially this time of year, obviously. It was kind of a washed red denim material, and then it was completely lined with red plaid flannel on the inside. That's another thing it had going for it. Very warm. It was a 2X, XXL size for men's, and just the time of year. So I was really happy that this one sold. I bought it for about $2, and it sold full price for $29.99. So that's it for me. This was a pretty great sales weekend for me. Things were really hopping, and I'm glad to have all those orders out and shipped to the customers. Yeah, so just join me again for my next video, and thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe or hit the like button, I would love it. See you next time. Bye-bye.